Good morning, good morning, good morning. That's right. Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. Last night, you know, a lot of times we doubt and, hey, you know, Ryan Garcia proved to the world last night that he is not just some, I'm going to come in the ring and hit you with the left hook. You don't have to knock people out anymore. The way he came in, man, Barrios, it was a clinic. It was a 12-round clinic. In the first round, Ryan got him, dropped him, and I was just like, I know people and they're like, yeah, we're betting Barrios, Ryan, his last performance, da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, do what you got to do, but I'm telling you right now, you don't know what's coming. See, a lot of times people want to say, "Oh, yeah," and the whole drug testing, and look, look, it's like, why can't people just give flowers where flowers are due? That's what I'd like to know. Why can't people do that? Why is it that they always gotta? I hope he was VADA tested, or But then there's all these people that are on, like, oh, now Ryan, I want to fight him all of a sudden. It's, he made a big achievement last night, whether or not anybody wants to believe that. And there's a lot of people out there that are, recanting their words. Hey, one thing I will say, a father knows their son the best. And when a father continuously tells everybody and anyone that they, asks or, says, oh, yeah, but Ryan this and Ryan that, well, that was proven last night. It was proven. It was proven. Ryan got in there and he picked Mario Barrios apart. The first round, he dropped him. I mean, he was connecting body shots. He was connecting fake. Hooks from the right side, hooks from the left side, jabs, jabs, jabs. It wasn't all that, Dude was technical. Like, he put it on a clinic. All 12 rounds. A lot of people slept on Garcia. A lot of people said, oh, no, he ain't going to win. I can tell you this right now. Everybody has their falls in life. They have their falls. However, you don't have to be a part of the group of people that, continuously back or talk bad about somebody. That's disgusting. And, most importantly, congratulations to the new WBC welterweight world champion, King Ryan Garcia. That's right. That's right. So anybody says that Ryan can't box, then I don't know what you're, thinking or whatever. That's your own opinion. But he could fight. Proved it. Proved it. Proved to everyone that kept saying Mario Barrios this. Mario Barrios was getting knocked around that ring. I mean, thumped. Boom, boom, boom. You know, Ryan took some shots, yeah. But you know what? Ryan fucking took that title. Ryan took that belt. Ryan was hungry. Just like with me, you know. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. You know what I'm thirsty to do? Is I love to get in the ring and box bullies. People that bully people. I think we should start a league just for that. Just for that. Because I'm going to tell you one thing that I've learned, right? And, you know, I follow Ryan Garcia and I watch his stuff. And you know what? I see different. You know, and I've predicted the Haney fight and this fight, the Rolly Romero one. I honestly don't think Ryan really was, you know, he just wasn't on his A game at that point. And people fall at all times, man. They fall. Like me. I was in a deep depression until I decided, you know what, I'm going to take advice that Ryan gives as well. You know, and, you know, give everything to my, you know, the God of my understanding. And glory to the God of my understanding. And that's the problem. A lot of us out there, we don't have that. Or we live in a make up, you know, world, or just an area in my life that I decided, you know what, that's why, you know, it's time, or at that point in time, it was time for me to get off of YouTube. But now I don't care. Say what you want to say in my comments. You know, I'm just gonna hand back the smoke. That's it. I'm gonna hand the smoke back. That's it. I don't fear, you know, a piece of plastic. You know, I don't fear, you know, if someone shows up to my home, because I'm in a mindset now where I am locked and loaded. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I do the right thing now. I've changed my ways. And you know what? With change comes growth. And like I said, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with when it comes to the internet. I will say that. There's a lot of things I don't agree with. I don't agree with the false information being put out, like all the people that were putting out, Brian failed the drug test, this and that, you know. And I'm talking about this fight. We're not even going to go into the past because everybody's got their own, you know, mind made up. But that's okay. That's it. That's not my problem. I'm going to start getting on here. You know, I haven't been on in, I believe, the last couple of days. I got to check. But, yeah, I'm not going to be getting on here every day, all day, 7 days a week. It's just not healthy for myself. And I got things that I got to work on. And, you know, with that being said, you know, glory to God. God bless you, Ryan Garcia, King Ryan Garcia, the new WBC welterweight world champion. That is a big, big deal. That is a big deal. You know, and with that, my friends, I'm definitely not going to be on here much longer. I find that a lot of times it's better off, just getting on here, letting everyone know, whoever listens, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. That way, every time I go live. Also today, there's a fight, Clarissa Shields, and I'm not sure about the other person that she's fighting, but I will be tuning in for that. I find different things to help me. And honestly, watching boxing and working on myself and, my own physical, appearance. Like, a lot of people are like, well, then why don't you turn on your camera? I don't have to turn on my camera. There's a lot of people that don't turn on their cameras for various reasons. But that's neither here nor there. That's in the past. If people got something to say, or they think they know me, or they, I don't talk to hardly anyone. I keep a very, 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 very tight knit circle now. I'm just working on building a little community, and that's it. That's it. But I'm not looking for millions of friends. Acquaintances is totally different than actual friends. Friends to me are people that you can actually go and hang out with. Friends are not just people you talk to on the internet. Until I meet a person and until I get to know that person, then I don't consider you a friend. I don't wish no ill will on anyone, but friendship is earned. Friendship is earned. And I cut my friends almost completely out because it wasn't getting me anywhere. And that's why I'm working on myself today and doing the things I need to do. And other than that, I just try to stay cool, relax, and enjoy life because it's short. And enjoy watching, instead of being so selfish, but, more selfless, and, watching others grow and actually giving them their flowers and showing them, that you respect them. Or supporting them, whatever it is, And I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking about, going on their shows. I'm not talking about that at all. Got to be very careful with that, going on people's shows. You just do. There are a lot of people out there that just want to be so freaking hateful. It's not even funny. And they don't have a care in their body. Nope. They don't have a care in their body. All they care about is What's going to benefit them? What's going to benefit them? Like I said, but I mainly got on here to talk about Ryan, and that fight was amazing. Best 12 rounds I've seen in a long time. Like, honestly, like one of them, fights that gets you really hyped. But I'll tell you, Garcia went in there and did his thing. He was very, very, very locked in. And that's what we all need to do in life in general. We need to lock in, focus, and find the things in life that we like. Not be followers, but be leaders. Anyways, my friends, once again, God bless you all. If you're new, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. But the thing is, real quick before I leave, Brian Garcia, when I was down and out and depressed and angry, and I started watching him. I started watching his little videos. I started watching the things that he was doing. And I realized that we face spiritual battles. And for me, I didn't want to leave the house. It got bad for me. It got very, 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 very bad for me, and scary. And I always, always, always get on here. And one thing I will never stop saying is therapy. Therapy works. Therapy helps. And honestly, I like going to therapy every week because there are things that I don't want to talk about on here. And see, when I first came on YouTube, I'd get on here and start talking about all those things. I wouldn't come on here and talk about, I just was a crash out, okay? Because I was dealing with stuff inside that I had no business getting on the web and talking to YouTube counselors. Just plain and simple, But getting on here now to make a statement, to let it be known, I am not afraid of no one. No man fears me. I got God. And God's going to protect those that do the next right thing. And pray for those that are being misled. That is what you got to do. That is what you got to do. And not kick somebody when they're down, and then when they get back up, like Ryan Garcia and all these people saying that, oh, he can't fight, he can't. Now you all want to, message, oh, I want to fight, So it's like, that's what I mean. That's called fair weather friends. And be very careful of those types of people, because they only come around when the opportunity is, going to benefit them. And I'm just keeping it 100. That is that. I don't have to get on here and talk about my, personal life. I can get on here and discuss things like this. Yes, a little bit about my personal life because, I'm one of those individuals. It's really weird. I have these dreams sometimes. And when I have these dreams, some of that stuff actually comes true. It comes to fruition. and I had a friend yesterday, talking about how he was gonna bet. I don't know if I said that already, but if I did, pardon me. And sorry, I said I was gonna get off, but at times certain things come out that need to come out, and I'm letting it be known. I'm making it clear, straight to the point, cutting right through the beef, and I'm letting it be known I will stay here on YouTube. People could take my videos. You could do what you want with my videos, but I'm telling you right now, a silent man, meaning I'm not going to feed into none of your shit. I'm not going to feed into anything that you got that's negativity that's going to cause me to walk the left-hand path. Okay? I don't know if those understand what the left-hand path is. It's dark magic. I speak about the cults. I speak about the same stuff that Ryan Garcia was talking about, that he said that he was crazy. But now if you look at everything that's going on, and I really don't want to turn into a channel where it just becomes negative, politics and shit like that. We don't want that here. No. Really, one thing, I hope Ryan continues to take fight after fight after fight after fight. And I know that he's going to become victorious. I know he is. He overcame so much. And not funny, but the interesting thing is, when I was getting bullied and I was getting, harassed over, something I should have never said to begin with, you understand? So let's clear that one up before anyone says anything elsewise, because it doesn't mean nothing. It was almost 4 years ago. But a lot of people can't let go of stuff. And one thing about not being able to let go of stuff is going to destroy your mind, because that's all you're going to think about. You're going to harp on it. You're going to, continuously bring it up because you can't let it go. And if you can't let something go, that's going to eat you up like a cancer inside out. You understand? And me, it don't affect me no more. As long as you don't show up, to my home, as long as you don't disrespect me and come at me in a physical manner, because the person I was a few years back when someone was sent to my home, I was very stuck in a very deep depression. I wasn't doing things correctly. I wasn't eating. I wasn't, taking care of my own self-care. I wasn't. I was self-medicating my mind. I was looking for things that I did not need or had any business trying to look for, and that was attention. And yes, I have my own traumas. And yes, my experiences differ. But the point I'm making here is we can make this a channel where, obviously I'm laying out my perspective on things, right? So you can jump up in the chat and lay your or let your perspective be known. Once again, if you're new, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. And let me know if this, my content is being used anywhere else. I'm working on actually I'm working on some things. I'm trying to set something up here where, things can be a little bit more monitored. And for those out there, if you hear this video anywhere else and there are add-ons to it, just know, come back to this channel right here and look that video up or whatever, and or try to match it up, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll take the video and they'll make it into something that it's not. Please, please, please report any of that type of behavior. Just report it. That's it. I appreciate that. I honestly like not having people in my chat like this. This is a beauty. This is a beauty. Maybe it's because I have half of them blocked. Oh, but maybe they still are linked to my email. Who knows? But yeah, I carried on a little bit longer than I wanted to. So I think I'm just going to make this a 30-minute little video. You can go back and re-listen. But yeah, we got to be there for one another. We got to show love to one another. Not kick one another when we're down. We should, reach down and pull that person up. And say, here, you know what? I'm here to try to help. And, honestly, sometimes people don't listen. They don't want the help. So until a person wants help, help is there. But if you don't put in the footwork to help, it won't ever work. It just won't. I mean, yeah, it won't work. It won't work at all. But yeah, we're getting close. And once again, man, I am so happy for Ryan Garcia. That is a big achievement. I'm happy for the father. I'm happy for the family. God bless you. And may there be many more. Many more wins. I just pray that you stay exactly where you're at, Ryan. You give me inspiration. You give me hope. Just your little videos at times help me, distraction of certain things, because I don't know, it just does. And honestly, having a grandfather that was a 3-time Golden Glove boxer, and that right there has driven me to like wanting to explore, combat sports, whatever, boxing, and that's what I've been doing, and I'm gonna continue to do it. And with that, I'm gonna close it out. Much love. God bless you. It's Sunday. Take it easy. If you haven't hugged someone yet, give them a great big hug. And to the haters, stay safe. Even though you hate, I still pray for you. We out.